All right, so you're thinking about a space heater.
Smart move. It's getting chilly out there.
Yeah. And, you went above and beyond, sending over some research you were doing.
Always good to be prepared.
Definitely. And it looks like you found a great resource, too. GearLab's in-depth review, all about the top space heaters for 2024.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Have you?
Yeah, they're really thorough.
They didn't mess around. Yeah. Putting those heaters through the ringer, right?
Yeah.
Measuring temperature changes, energy use. I mean, they even checked how well they fit under a desk.
It's more than just plug it in and see if it gets hot.
Right. So that's what we're diving into today. GearLab tested 13 different models.
Wow.
But don't worry, we're focusing on their top picks, the best of the best.
Makes sense. We're all busy. Nobody has time to go through all 13.
Exactly. We're helping you narrow down the options, figure out which one's going to be your perfect little heating buddy.
So we're going to break down the pros and cons, each model, highlight the key features, and, even touch on some things you might not have thought about, like how well a heater works for just you.
Versus like warming up a whole room.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I know I've been guilty of just grabbing the first one I see without thinking, wait, what do I actually need this for?
It happens.
So let's start with GearLab's best overall winner.
Okay.
The Lasko Ceramic Digital Tower.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Maybe not the catchiest name.
But hey, maybe they put all their effort into how it works, not what they call it, right?
I like that. Function over fashion.
Exactly.
So tell me about this Lasko. What made it stand out to GearLab?
Well, first off, it heats up fast, and it's pretty compact. Doesn't take up your whole living room, Oh, and it comes with a remote.
Oh, nice. Couch potato approved.
Right. And here's the picker. All that for way less than some of the other big names out there.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Value for your money. I like it.
Yeah.
But you mentioned other big names. Did someone say Dyson?
Oh, could it be?
2 Dysons on this list. The Hot+Cool AM09 and the Purifier Hot+Cool HP07. I mean, those names alone just sound high-tech.
Oh, they are. They're definitely, top tier.
So these Dysons, they live up to the hype.
They do. Let's start with the AM09, okay? That one's a real multitasker. It's a heater and a fan.
Year-round use.
You got it. And it has that classic Dyson look, super sleek. And with the temperature control, you can really dial it in.
Oh, so no more fighting over the thermostat.
Exactly.
Smart. But hold on, the HP07, that's not just a heater and a fan, it's an air purifier, too.
Triple threat.
That's a lot packed into one device.
It is. It's perfect if you have allergies, live in a dusty place, or just want, really good air quality.
3 appliances in one. Not bad, Dyson, not bad. But let's be real for a sec. Dysons, they're an investment.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who are maybe looking for something a little friendlier on the wallet.
GearLab had a pick for that, too.
Oh, good. Who was it?
The Amazon Basics 1500W.
Amazon Basics. Solid choice.
Right. No frills heater. But don't let that fool you. It's powerful.
I mean, it's Amazon. They're kind of known for getting things done.
And it's a fan as well.
Oh, 2 in 1.
More bang for your buck.
So we've got, our high-performing all-rounder with the Lasko. We've got the multi-talented Dysons. And then the powerhouse from Amazon Basics. I like it.
It's like Goldilocks and the 3 bears of space heaters.
There's one that's just right for everyone.
Yeah.
So let's dig a little deeper into each of these heaters. What did GearLab actually look at when they were testing them? What were the big things?
Well, one of the most important things was how they performed in different situations. Not just, how fast it heats up a room, but also, like you said, how well it works if you're just trying to warm up your own little spot.
Okay, so that personal heating versus whole room heating.
Yeah.
So who was the champion of personal heating?
Believe it or not, that title goes back to our best overall winner, the Lasko Ceramic Digital Tower. Yeah. It was noticeably faster than any of the others when it came to heating up a personal space, especially under a desk.
So picture this. You're bundled up in your favorite blanket. You've got your coffee, working from home. The Lasko is keeping your toes nice and toasty.
Exactly.
What about those tiny ones, though? The Amazon Basics and the Lasko bathroom heater. How did they do for personal heating?
They were actually pretty good. Both the Amazon Basics and that little Lasko bathroom heater, they scored well for personal heating, especially if you're talking about that under-desk situation.
So size doesn't matter when it comes to personal warmth.
Apparently not. But yeah, I imagine their small size probably does work against them when you're trying to heat a bigger space.
Right. You need something with a little more muscle for that.
Yeah, for that you want some raw heating power.
Okay, so who took the crown in that category?
Well, you might be surprised to hear the Amazon Basics heater actually really blew us away. It was the fastest at raising the overall temperature of the room.
Wait a minute, really? The budget-friendly option beat out the fancy Dysons?
It did. In their tests, the Amazon Basics raised the temperature of the room by almost 15 degrees in an hour. The Dysons were close behind, like 13 degrees, but still.
Wow, underdog story right there. Okay, so we've got a winner for personal heating, a winner for overall room heating, but what about all those bells and whistles, those extra features that some people really look for? Which heater was the most convenient to use?
Well, it probably won't shock you to hear that the Dysons were top of the class when it came to convenience. Timers, super precise temperature controls, oscillation to spread that heat around, and of course, remote controls.
Ah, yes, the remote control. Essential for those cozy nights in.
Mm.
Did any of the other heaters come with a remote, or is that just a Dyson thing?
Actually, a few others had them too. The Lasko ceramic digital tower had one, and so did the Lasko bladeless heater and the Dr. infrared heater.
Oh, okay, so there were a few contenders in the remote control game. Were they all good, though?
Well, that's where things get interesting. GearLab definitely had their favorites.
I bet they did.
They loved the Dyson remotes, described them as sleek and magnetic.
Very high praise.
They also gave a shout out to the Dr. infrared remote.
Really? Why is that?
Because the buttons were actually labeled with words, instead of just symbols.
Oh, that makes a huge difference. Who wants to decipher tiny icons when they're just trying to warm up?
So, we've talked about performance, we've talked about those fancy features, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Energy efficiency. Especially these days, with energy costs going up, nobody wants a heater that's going to break the bank.
Right, you want to stay warm, but you don't want to get hit with a giant electric bill.
Exactly. So, which heater was the most energy efficient?
Well, this one might surprise you. It wasn't one of the fancy Dysons, but that little Lasko CD08200 ceramic bathroom heater.
Really? The tiny bathroom heater is the efficiency champion. I wouldn't have guessed that. Hold on, though. What about the DeLonghi Dragon? That was the only oil heater they tested, right? Aren't those supposed to be more energy efficient over time? They can be, yeah. Oil heaters have that advantage of holding onto heat for longer, so they might actually use less energy overall, even if they take a little longer to heat up initially, compared to like a ceramic heater.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about personal heating, whole room heating, all the bells and whistles, and even energy efficiency. I'm wondering, though, did any of these heaters really stand out as being specifically better for, like, one situation over another?
That's a great question. And yes, there were definitely a few that really excelled in specific scenarios. Like we were saying before, the Lasko ceramic digital tower, it was the champion for personal heating, especially under a desk. But it wasn't quite as impressive at heating up a whole room.
So it's like a focused beam of warmth for your little personal bubble. Perfect for someone who just wants to stay toasty at their desk without necessarily heating their entire house.
Exactly. On the flip side, that Amazon Basics 1500W, real powerhouse when it came to heating a whole room, but didn't provide that same, concentrated warmth for personal use.
It's like choosing the right tool for the job, right? You wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a light bulb.
Exactly. To help make that decision a little easier, let's really break down the strengths and weaknesses of each heater based on what GearLab found. Like a side-by-side comparison. So you can see which one comes out on top in the areas that are most important to you.
I love it. A space heater showdown. So let's start with our reigning champ, the Lasko ceramic digital tower. What were its big selling points?
Well, it was a real speed demon, that's for sure. Heated up a personal space super fast, which is, like we said, perfect for under the desk. And don't forget, it comes with that remote control.
Oh yeah, for sure. Can't beat that convenience. But we know it wasn't the strongest for heating a whole room. So maybe not the best if you're trying to warm up a larger space.
Yeah, you'd probably want to look at something else for that. But speaking of, let's move on to our budget-friendly powerhouse, that Amazon Basics 1500W.
This little guy was punching above its weight class, fastest at raising the temperature in a small room, even beating out those Dysons.
I know, right? Talk about a bargain. But it is a pretty basic model. No remote, no fancy features, just pure heat.
Back to basics. I respect it.
Exactly. Sometimes that's all you need.
Okay, but now, let's talk about those spaceship-worthy Dysons. They might cost a bit more, but they come with a whole lot of features. Some listeners might find that pretty tempting.
Oh, for sure. If you're looking for the, premium experience, starting with the Dyson Hot+Cool AM09, heater and a fan, all in one, year-round use. And of course, it's a Dyson, it looks super sleek. Plus, it has that precise temperature control. You can really fine-tune it.
No more arguing over the thermostat.
Exactly. And then we have the Dyson Purifier Hot plus Cool HP07.
The triple threat.
Heats, cools, and purifies the air. It's like the ultimate all-in-one for your home climate.
Impressive. If you're looking for the best of the best, that might be it. But we can't forget about that little Lasko CD88200 ceramic bathroom heater. Might not have all the bells and whistles, but it's got something none of the others do.
That's right, the ALCI safety plug. If you're using a heater in the bathroom, you absolutely need that. Extra layer of protection, can't be too safe.
Even though it's small, it's the safest option for those damp environments. So there you have it. A rundown of the top space heaters on the market, from the simple and affordable to the high-tech and multifunctional.
We covered a lot of ground. Performance, features, energy efficiency, safety, really everything you need to know to make the best choice for your needs.
Exactly. Think about what's important to you. What are your priorities? Do you need to heat a large space? Just your own little area? Are those extra features like a remote or air purification important to you? Or is safety your biggest concern? Once you've got that figured out, head over to the link in our episode description. That'll take you to GearLab's full review.
They've got everything there. Photos, videos, super detailed information on each heater. Oh, and if you end up buying one through our link, we might get a little something too. Full transparency, right?
Of course. But more importantly, stay warm out there, everyone. And remember, the best space heater is the one that fits your needs. Helps you beat that winter chill. Happy heating!